What if I told you that Martha, a 67-year-old grandmother from Ohio, went from needing help, getting out of her car to hiking 5 miles with her grandchildren in just 90 days? And she didn't step foot in a gym, didn't buy expensive equipment, and didn't even break a sweat most days. Her secret? She stood still for 2 minutes every morning. Hey there, beautiful people. Welcome back to Joyful Later Years. If this is your first time here, I'm so glad you found us. We're all about staying strong, healthy, and vibrant after 50, proving that our later years can truly be our most joyful. If you're loving what you're hearing already, do me a huge favor. Smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you never miss our weekly tips for aging gracefully and powerfully. Now, back to Martha's incredible story. Sounds impossible, right? But Martha discovered something that ancient warriors knew centuries ago, something so powerful that it's been hidden in plain sight. Yet 99% of people over 50 have never tried it. It's called the horse stance. And what happens to you when you do it every day after 50? Well, let's just say the 7th benefit I'll share today is something doctors rarely talk about, but it could change everything about how you feel in your own skin. Before we dive deep, I want you to be part of this conversation. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's the one physical thing you wish you could do again that you used to do easily 10 years ago? Maybe it's getting up from the floor without groaning, or climbing stairs without being winded, or simply feeling steady on your feet. I read every single comment, and your answer might just surprise you by the end of this video, because what I'm about to share addresses so many of those challenges you might think are just part of getting older. Now, I know what you're thinking. Standing still for 2 minutes? That's not exercise. But here's the thing. What I'm about to show you isn't just exercise. It's a complete body reset that works from the inside out, and I've seen it transform thousands of lives in our amazing Joyful Later Years community. Stick with me, because in the next 15 minutes, I'll reveal exactly what happens to your muscles, joints, balance, energy levels, and yes, even your confidence when you make this one simple change to your daily routine. And at the end, I'm going to challenge you to something that could completely transform your next 90 days. Section 1. The Foundation Revolution. Let's start with something that might shock you. Right now, as you're watching this video, your legs are probably weaker than they were last month. And last month, they were weaker than the month before. After 50, we lose approximately 1 to 2% of our muscle mass every single year. But here's what your doctor probably hasn't told you. It's not just about the muscle. It's about the type of muscle fibers we're losing. You see, there are 2 types of muscle fibers: fast twitch and slow twitch. Fast twitch gives you explosive power, like jumping or sprinting. Slow twitch gives you endurance, like standing, walking, and staying stable. Guess which ones disappear first as we age? The slow twitch fibers that keep you upright and steady. That's why you might find yourself grabbing railings you never needed before, or feeling unsteady when you stand up quickly. But here's where it gets interesting. The horse stance specifically targets these slow twitch fibers in a way that no other exercise can. When you hold this position, you're not just building muscle, you're rebuilding your body's foundation from the ground up. Let me tell you about James, a 58-year-old construction worker who came to me because his knees were shot and he was considering early retirement. 3 months of daily horse stance practice later, he's back to working full days without knee pain. But that's not even the most remarkable part. What happened to James in those 3 months reveals something profound about how our bodies actually age, and more importantly, how they can regenerate. But before I tell you that story, let me show you exactly what's happening inside your muscles during those crucial 2 minutes. Section 2. The Invisible Workout. Now from the outside, the horse stance looks like, well, nothing. You're just standing there. But inside you, it's like a symphony where every instrument has to play in perfect harmony. Think of it this way. Imagine you're holding a heavy box. After 30 seconds, your arms start to shake. After a minute, you're desperately looking for somewhere to put it down. That's your muscles under isometric stress. They're working at maximum capacity without moving. The horse stance does this to your entire lower body, but in the smartest way possible. Your quadriceps, those big muscles on the front of your thighs, they're firing constantly to keep your knees from buckling. Your glutes are contracting to keep your hips stable. Your calves are working overtime to maintain your balance. And deep inside your core, muscles you didn't even know you had are working together to keep you upright. But here's the magic part, and this is where most people get it wrong. It's not about how low you can go. It's not about how long you can hold it. It's about the quality of the tension you create. Remember Sarah, who I mentioned would be part of this story. She's 72, and when she first tried the horse stance, she could barely hold it for 15 seconds, and she couldn't go very deep. But she was consistent, every single day, 2 minutes in the morning. 6 weeks later, something incredible happened. Not only could she hold the stance for 2 full minutes, but she noticed something else, something that had nothing to do with the exercise itself. She was sleeping through the night for the first time in years. Her chronic lower back pain was gone, and her energy levels throughout the day were higher than they'd been in a decade. How does standing still for 2 minutes create changes like that? The answer lies in something most fitness experts completely overlook. Section 3. The circulation revolution. Here's something your doctor might not have told you about circulation. It's not just about your heart pumping blood. After 50, the real issue is getting that blood back up from your legs to your heart. You see, your heart is incredibly strong at pushing blood down to your feet. Gravity helps with that. But getting it back up, that requires something called the muscle pump. And this is where most people over 50 run into trouble. When you walk, your calf muscles contract and relax, literally squeezing the blood back up through your veins. But if you're sitting most of the day, or if those muscles are weak, blood starts to pool in your lower legs. This creates a cascade of problems: swelling, fatigue, even those restless feelings in your legs at night. Now, here's where the horse stance becomes revolutionary. When you hold this position, you're creating the most powerful muscle pump you have ever experienced. Every muscle from your feet to your core is contracting simultaneously, forcing pull blood circulation in ways that would make your cardiologist smile. But it gets even better. Remember how I mentioned that 7th benefit that doctors rarely talk about? This is where it starts to make sense. Improved circulation doesn't just help your legs, it helps everything below your belt. Better circulation means better function, and I'm talking about functions that can make the difference between feeling vital and feeling, well, old. Let me share Tom's story. He's 61, and like many men his age, he was experiencing, let's call them, performance issues. He'd tried everything his doctor suggested, but nothing really worked long term. Then he started the horse stance routine. Not for that reason. He was actually trying to strengthen his legs for hiking. But after about 6 weeks, he called me with some unexpected news. The improvements he experienced weren't just physical strength, the increased circulation, the improved pelvic floor engagement, the reduced stress levels. Everything worked together to help him feel more like himself again. And ladies, this applies to you too. The pelvic floor benefits, improved circulation, and hormonal aided balance that comes from this practice can address issues that many women just accept as part of getting older. But there's something else happening during those 2 minutes that might be even more important. Section 4. The brain-body connection. Let's talk about something that most exercise videos completely ignore: what this does to your brain. You see, after 50, we start losing something called proprioception, your ability to sense where it is in space. This is why you might find yourself being more cautious on stairs, or why you occasionally feel unsteady for no apparent reason. Your brain is literally losing its connection to body. But here's what's fascinating about the horse stance. It forces your brain to reconnect with every part of your lower body. As you hold the position, thousands of nerve signals are firing between your brain and your muscles, essentially rebuilding those neural highways that time has worn down. But there's another brain benefit that might be even more important, especially if you've been feeling more stressed, anxious, or mentally foggy lately. The horse stance is essentially a form of moving meditation. As you hold the position and focus on your breathing, your brain waves actually change. You shift from the high-stress beta waves that dominate our daily lives into the calmer alpha and theta waves associated with relaxation and mental clarity. This isn't just feel-good theory. It's measurable neuroscience. Dr. Rebecca Martinez, a neurologist who studies aging and cognitive function, has seen this effect repeatedly in her patients. The combination of physical challenge and mental focus creates what we call stress inoculation. She explains, "You're literally training your brain to stay calm under pressure." This is why people like Janet, who's 65, report not just feeling physically stronger after practicing the horse stance, but mentally sharper and more emotionally resilient. Janet told me something that stuck with me. "I feel like I can handle whatever life throws at me now, not because problems don't come up, but because I feel stronger from the inside out." That inner strength she's talking about. It starts with those 2 minutes of standing still. But there's one more aspect of this practice that ties everything together. Section 5. The hormonal reset. Now let's talk about something that affects every single person over 50, but that most people are too embarrassed to discuss. Hormonal changes. Whether you're a man dealing with declining testosterone or a woman navigating menopause and beyond, hormonal shifts can leave you feeling tired, moody, and frankly, not like yourself. Here's what most people don't realize. Exercise, the right kind of exercise, is one of the most powerful tools for naturally balancing hormones. But here's the catch. Most exercise after 50 actually makes hormonal problems worse. High-intensity workouts, long cardio sessions, and stressful exercise routines flood your system with cortisol, the stress hormone that suppresses the production of the hormones you actually want more of. The horse stance is different. It's what researchers call hormetic stress. Just enough of challenge to trigger positive adaptations, but not so much that it overwhelms your system. When you hold this position, several things happen hormonally. First, our body releases a small amount of growth hormone, the same hormone that keeps your muscles strong and your metabolism active. This happens because your muscles are teed under tension, signaling to you that it needs to maintain and build strength. Second, the controlled breathing that's essential to holding the stance activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest mode. This naturally lowers cortisol, while supporting the production of other beneficial hormones. Third, and this is the part that addresses that seventh benefit I mentioned earlier, the increased blood flow to your pelvic region supports the organs responsible for hormone production and sexual function. Let me tell you about Maria's transformation. She's 59, and when she started the horse stance on practice, she was struggling with all the classic signs of hormonal imbalance, energy crashes, mood swings, sleep problems, and a complete loss of interest in, well, intimacy. She wasn't looking for a miracle cure. She just wanted to feel a little stronger. But after 8 weeks of consistent practice, she experienced what she calls her second spring. Her energy stabilized throughout the day. Her sleep improved dramatically. Her mood became more balanced. And yes, she rediscovered parts of herself she thought were gone forever. "I feel like myself again," she told me. "Not like I'm trying to be 30, but like I'm the best version of 59 I can be." This isn't unusual. When you support your internal natural systems instead of fighting against them, remarkable things can happen. But here's what really makes the difference. Section 6. The consistency factor. Here's the truth that the fitness industry doesn't want you to know. Consistency beats intensity every single time, especially after 50. You don't need to exhaust yourself. You don't need to feel the burn. You don't need to collapse in a sweaty heap to know you've done something beneficial for you. What you need is something you can do every single day, without fail, regardless of how you're feeling, where you are, or what else is happening in your life. The horse stance is the ultimate consistency exercise because it removes every possible excuse. No equipment needed. No special clothes required. Takes less than 2 minutes. Can be done anywhere. No risk of injury when done properly. No recovery time needed. But here's the secret to making it work. You have to approach it like a daily vitamin, not a weekly workout. Start with just 30 seconds. I don't care if you can hold it longer. Start with 30 seconds. Do it. Every morning, right after you brush your teeth. Make it so automatic that you don't even think about whether you feel like it or not. After 2 weeks, add another 15 seconds. Keep building slowly, week by week, until you can hold it for 2 full minutes. The people who get the most dramatic results, people like Martha, James, Sarah, Tom, Janet, and Maria, they all have one thing in common. They never missed a day for the first 90 days. Not because they were motivated every day, not because they always felt like it, but because they made it a non-negotiable part of their routine. And here's what happened to every single one of them by day 90. Section 7. The 90-day transformation. Let me paint you a picture of what's possible when you commit to 2 minutes a day for 90 days. Week 1-2. You'll notice you can hold the position a little longer each day. Your legs might feel a bit sore, but it's a good soreness, the kind that says you're building something. Week 3-4. You'll start noticing better balance in daily activities. Getting up from chairs becomes easier. You feel more stable on uneven surfaces. Week 5-8. This is when the magic really starts. Your posture improves noticeably. People might even comment that you look taller. Your energy levels throughout the day become more consistent. Week 9-12. The deeper benefits kick in. Better sleep, improved mood, increased confidence. Some of those age-related issues you'd accepted as just part of getting older start to improve. But here's the most important part. By day 90, it's not something you do anymore. It's part of who you are. You become someone who takes 2 minutes every day to invest in their strength, balance, and vitality. And that identity shift, that's what creates lasting transformation. So here's my challenge to you. Stand up right now. Yes, right now, beautiful soul. Find a space where you can spread your feet apart. Lower yourself into a shallow horse stance, just as deep as feels comfortable. And hold it for 30 seconds while you finish watching this video. Feel those muscles working? That's our body remembering what it's capable of. And I am so proud of you for taking action. If you're ready to see what 90 days of this simple practice can do for your strength, balance, energy, and overall vitality, drop a comment below saying, "I'm in for 90 days." I personally read every comment and I'll be cheering you on. And listen, if this video opened your eyes to something new, if it gave you hope, if it made you feel empowered, please share it with someone you care about who might need to hear this message. Together, we're changing the conversation about what it means to age gracefully. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Remember, gorgeous, aging is inevitable, but feeling old is optional. Your strongest, most confident years can still be ahead of you, and I'm here to support you every step of the way. Start today, stand strong, and let me know in the comments how it goes. I can't wait to celebrate your wins with you.